Hypixel Skyblock game mode has been the most popular game on the server since its release, amassing 50,000 concurrent players when I first logged into the game. This game, however, is extremely notorious for its grindy nature. And let me tell you, it is definitely a grind. However, before you watch this video, please go watch my first time playing Hypixel Skyblock, as some people leave comments wondering how I get set up before day 1, and then come back to this video. Hey guys, Editor Asher here. So, I'm a huge idiot and actually forgot to put this in the intro, but anyways, as most of you know, and if you don't know, you should go follow him, Luke TheNotable is a pretty large YouTuber on the platform who started the 100 Days of Minecraft trend. So go ahead and give him a follow, his link will be in the description as well. He started this whole thing, so yeah, back to the intro. I decided for these 100 days to cut out most of the grinding, as well as take a few coins from subscribers to make it go by quicker and have it less grindy. Now before you flame me in the comments, I only took coins 2 times and used it to upgrade a few minions and buy one single armor set that I also paid for half for with my own money. I did not use it to fly by the entire progression, and I still managed to get over 100 hours of footage for this video. So I could be making 300 days in Hypixel Skyblock, but instead, I condensed it down into 100 days. So please, before you murder me, at least attempt to understand that I really did spend over 100 hours on this game in 2 weeks for this video. Thank you. Anyways, if you want to support the channel and my goal of getting YouTube rank by the end of February, then please subscribe. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers and that glorious YouTube rank. Even if you only ever watch this video, please subscribe. I want to get the rank. And if you do subscribe, you will literally be able to fly. Anyways, on to the video. Oh yeah, and be sure to watch all the way to the end of the video because there's an announcement for what I'm going to do next with my channel. On day 1, I walked around the main hub area a lot and tried to learn as much as I can about the game. I read the wiki, I stored some coins in the bank, enchanted one of my weapons, harvested some crops, and then made it my goal to unlock the Bazaar as the first major task. I was told this would be the best thing that I could do to get money, as the Bazaar is an easy way to get a ton of coins when you're first starting off. I spent the entire day just taking in the surroundings of the hub, as I knew there was so much to learn. Day 2, before I unlocked the Bazaar, I wanted to go ahead and make my island a bit prettier and set up a small little base. I wanted to mine up the whole thing and create a large sheet of dirt for farms, buildings, and other cool things that I could build. I wanted to do a ton of different things in these 100 days in Skyblock, so I might as well start at its core and make my own little island. I spent the majority of the second day clearing out this small island, as well as returning to the mine to collect a diamond to make a new shovel. On days 3 and 4, I finished clearing out the small island and began laying dirt down to form a large sheet that I can build on. Afterwards, I ended up mining out a small storage room inside of this main island here in order to store all of my items. I wanted to start creating some farms and getting my skills higher in order to unlock the Bazaar. On day 5, I returned to the hub and explored the park area, gathering some logs for this guy and getting an axe in return. I spent the rest of the day gathering wood and looking around the hub area for the builder shop. I still didn't know where everything was at, but eventually I found him and bought some more dirt in order to build my island a bit more. On day 6, I laid out dirt all over my island to give myself an even bigger space to work with. I wanted to build a storage room as well as having enough of an area for minions and farms. These were 2 things that I knew I wanted to build in order to maximize the amount of coins I get. I placed down torches to light up the area, and I closed off the small area underneath my base. I ended up with this large platform ready for building by the end of the day. The first thing I wanted to build was a storage room, so on day 7, I started on that project. I wanted to make this look really pretty, so I got to work. I also needed a place to store all my items. Instead of just throwing everything together in random chests, I wanted to have a set area with a bunch of different defined item-framed chests. Kind of like I did in my 2x2t base and Pixelmon base. I started the storage room using spruce logs and an oak wood floor. I also smelted a ton of iron in order to create tripwire hooks to make trap chests to make sure that my chests can be put together in this fashion. On day 8, I headed to the barnyard to collect leather for item frames. I wanted to use item frames to define every single item that was stored in my chests. However, apparently cows are rarer than diamonds, so it's going to take a while for me to get the amount of leather I need for these item frames. I looked at the auction house and asked around, but it didn't seem like there was a better way. I mean, I could have just bought it at the Bazaar, but I didn't have it unlocked at this point, so sorry. After this small storage building was done, I wanted to get some diamond minions and start collecting a large sum of coins. Enchanted diamond blocks were probably the way to go. I also wanted to get one cow minion to start generating some leather for me. I placed the chest in the storage room to make everything look set up and complete, and then headed out to collect a few more blocks to finish this building. Day 9, I finished up the majority of the storage room, adding in pillars all around to make it feel more pretty, as well as returning to the park and cutting down a raft load of spruce trees. I ended up getting to foraging 7, which was one of the goals I needed to complete in order to unlock the Bazaar, which was something I really wanted to do as soon as possible, as I could buy and sell materials there and it becomes super useful throughout these 100 days. On day 10, I completed the storage room, adding a roof overhead, collecting a ton of wood to craft all of the chests, and overall had a very productive day building on my island. I still need to figure out some more things to build and grind for these 100 days, but for now, I'm gonna move on to the next project. On day 11, I headed to the diamond quarry to get my mining up in levels, as well as trying to obtain some better armor. I ended up getting to the combat level 5 and dying a lot, as literally every mob down here still completely one-shots me. I needed to get better armor, but apparently the better armor drops from these guys, so I'm just gonna have to grind it out, kill the mobs here to get some armor. I did end up getting a lucky diamond pants drop, however. On day 12, I reached the Obsidian Sanctum, and I was put on a quest to obtain the heart of the mountain by reaching mining level 12. I actually never finished this throughout the entire 100 days, but I do end up getting to mining level 12. I continued grinding mobs to get more pieces of the armor, as well as gathering diamonds to create some diamond minions when I got back to the base. Day 13, I spent the whole day in the mines dying over and over because of how OP skeletons are. What the hell? Then, I got enough diamonds to return to my island and create my first diamond minion. I put him in the air because it said he needed to generate blocks around him, and I didn't really know how this works, so I just hope this is right. On day 14, I wanted to obtain a cow minion to start making leather for me so I can make item frames and label all the chests in the storage room. I went to the farm area in search of a few cows to kill and ended up spending the entire day here as I needed to kill and obtain 50 pieces of leather from cows. I had a bit of an argument with all the other players there as I didn't want them to steal my kills, but I did end up getting the recipe eventually. By the end of the day, I returned to the hub and got my farming skill up a bit in order to get my last needed skill to level 7 to unlock the Bazaar. I hit level 6 only, but don't worry, we'll get there. Days 15 and 16, I returned to my island and began setting up an area for my minions. I created another diamond minion as well as upgrading the first one to rank 2. Then I placed down some fences and a cow minion to make it look all pretty. Afterwards, I spent the majority of day 16 moving all my items inside my storage room and labeling them with the correct labels. I wanted to build more of the base, but I also wanted to upgrade my player. Day 17, I worked on the base a bit more, surrounding it in stone bricks. I had to go and buy some sand to make glass for some windows, but didn't have any coal left. So, I headed to the coal mines. While I was there, I decided to start a quest that involved me getting a lazy miner's pickaxe. I ended up completing the quest and collecting a bunch of coal there as well. I returned home and added on to the entrance of my base, smelting up some glass and making nice windows for me to peer out of. I'll have to figure out how to move this portal though. Day 18, I returned to the deep caverns to grind experience in order to put looting 3 on my sword. You die a lot in these caverns, but it does feel nice now I have 3/4 of the miner's set. I decided to stay here the entire day and grind out the full armor set. I did end up putting looting on my sword, and I was really glad that this helped me with drop chances. Of course, I thought it helped me with, like, armor drop chances, but it actually doesn't. And I never got the chestplate for the mining gear till, like, way later, so oops. Day 19, I decided to cut the grinding and check the auction house after amassing a small sum of coins. Don't ask how I got this many coins. I didn't take handouts. I sold something on accident. Oops, oops, oops. I decided to buy a few pieces of lapis armor and didn't realize I had to wait so long for my auction to come in because the auction house doesn't have a buyout feature like it does on Windcraft. It actually does, I just didn't know how to use it because I'm a noob. So I waited for the rest of the day for my pieces of armor to come through. On day 20, I had a full set of lapis armor, which I was told was insanely good for my level. So I was prepared to continue on grinding, building, and leveling up. I spent the entire day getting my farming skill up to level 7 so I can finally unlock the Bazaar and start making a ton of coins. I also discovered an enchant that literally gives you more health by wearing an item. Now I wanted to grind more experience to get this enchant on every piece of armor. I had almost 300 health now and I was super excited to get more work done. Day 21, I unlocked the Bazaar. This was a place I could go to buy and sell items for a large amount of coins. So what did I do? Well, obviously I took everything I owned and sold it all. I'm so rich, look at all these coins. Woo! Now, to you veterans, I know 70,000 coins isn't that much, but to me, I felt so unbelievably rich. On day 22, I actually wrote down some main goals for these 100 days. I wanted to go to the end dimension and grind out or buy a full set of the end armor, as well as end up with an epic quality weapon. I wanted to build some farms, max out my diamond minion slots, as well as try to get 1 million coins by myself. As someone who is a complete noob to Skyblock, I have honestly no idea if this was really possible. I spent the day on my island planning what to do for the next 80 days. I actually ended up doing most of this and getting way further than I ever thought I would, but that's only because I played for like 100 hours. On days 23 to 27, I decided to spend the next 2 hours grinding combat levels, experience points, and enchanting my lapis armor with full defensive enchants in order to get the most amount of health and defense possible. I want it to be stacked before I headed to the end, as I think my first goal is going to be collecting and killing ender mobs in order to obtain the end armor. So far, I'm having a lot of fun with Skyblock, and there's still so much I want to do. I needed to hit combat level 12 to go to the end, then I wanted to get geared up more a bit, or at least to an extent, as I might come back to gear up even more. I wanted to do a mix of everything for these 100 days. Day 28, I unlocked the experience potion recipe in the Lapis Caves. So, I didn't even know I could craft these. I bought a rathload of sand from the builder store, smelted all of it in my furnaces, created an actual ton of experience potions in order to enchant my tools and armor with the best of my ability. By the end of day 28, I had full prot 4 and growth 4, an ender sword with all of these enchants on it, combat level 10, and mining level 12. Now you guys might be thinking, Asher, how'd you do that so fast? And honestly, I probably spent more than just 5 days working on this and getting myself enchanted and fully geared up for the end. But I wanted to keep the video entertaining and delve into tons of aspects of Skyblock. So I decided to cut it short and keep the grinding to have a more entertaining video for you guys. But I already said this at the beginning, so you guys already know this. And by the way, I'm definitely not ready to go to the end. I was very, very, very underprepared. So I spent a lot more time preparing. Day 29, I decided to grab some runes for my base and enchant my weapon and boots with these different runes. It took me a minute to figure this out, but I was happy with it. I also used my coins to reforge all my gear to Titanic and ended up getting a really strong end sword and some very strong armor. I spent the rest of the day mining up some coal to continue smelting glass in order to make experience bottles, and I had all the furnaces going at once. On day 30, I moved my base's portal and replaced it with a new one. I spent the rest of the day looking at the auction house at a ton of really expensive items that I will probably never get. Day 31 and 32, before heading off to the end dimension, I bought some more blocks from the shop to decorate my base. I made the entire floor of the cyan-stained clay, as well as outlining this entire place with a stone brick frame and creating a third diamond minion. Afterwards, I ran into a guy who claimed I wasn't the actual Asher was here, so I'm literally just putting him in the video to solely prove that, in fact, I am the real Asher was here. Day 33, it was time to head to the end and start upgrading my combat level even further, and then I realized I wasn't combat level 12. So, this is the gear I got so far though. Protection 5, and growth 4 on everything, a super enchanted end sword for maximum damage, and a decent pickaxe to mine up some things. I wanted to destroy the end and get some really good armor, but I had no idea what I was in for. I wanted to be very extra prepared before I went. Looking back on this part of the video, well, for you Hypixel Skyblock pros, you know that I'm about to die in the end, so don't even bother commenting. I headed to the Spider Island instead to get my combat level up some more, as well as explore the new zone as I hadn't been there before. I spent the rest of the day exploring here, and it's actually my favorite island in the game. I really liked how it was built and designed. I spent the rest of the day exploring this island, and it was really nice. Day 34, I returned to the base. Now, of course, I was still heading to the end, obviously, but I wanted to make sure I was really set up to take everything on. I also learned that I was able to actually set up portals from my island to wherever I wanted to go. So I set up a portal to the deep caverns for mining, and a portal to the Spider Island for fighting. There are lots of things that I'm going to eventually want/need, so I'll be sure to use this to my advantage to cut down the time it takes to travel places. I also set up 2 spider minions to start farming some extra strength for me. So, on day 35, I made a huge mistake. Not really sure what I'm gonna do, but I held an event in my Discord server, and people ended up trading me a ton of coins and items. Like, literally, I didn't even record this part because just how fast it all happened. I was only expecting a few coins, and I kind of feel like I was cheated out the experience, but hey, many of you complained Hypixel was way too grindy, so at least now I can kind of focus on other things instead of, you know, the grind. I can head to the end, kill some endermen, get some armor, who knows? I won't spend the money right away, and I don't spend it on anything smart. I only upgrade some minions in the future. But I know there will be lots of you mad at me in the comments, but I actually don't use many of these coins. I give some of them away, I buy items for friends, and I use it to upgrade minions. But I did buy a couple things. Day 36, I can continue moving on with Skyblock. If I was taking emeralds and literal mythics in Windcraft, I'm sure a few items and coins that I know nothing about in Skyblock won't be that big of a deal. I still wanted to work towards enchanted blocks of diamond, but I was thinking of getting a different set of armor. Something I did immediately buy back after accidentally selling was the spider boots, as I did sell them on accident earlier in the video. Anyways, other than that, I plan to just save the coins and give them away and stuff like that. I did want to explore the Blazing Fortress before I went to the end, as I was very much told that I should go there first and not go to the end in Lapis Armor. So I decided to head there, and I spent the rest of the day exploring this Blazing Fortress. This place was pretty much a large nether fortress with wither skeletons, blazes, a large open plains-like area with tough magma cubes, and a large cavern filled with pigmen. I returned home by the end of the day and decided that I was going to try and craft, by the end of these 100 days, an Aspects of the End sword. This was a powerful rare item that I really wanted to craft myself. However, I needed a lot of ender pearls and ender pearl minions. So, on day 37, I went to the end to grind up a bit. Actually, I realized that on day 37, I was not combat level 12 yet. So, I had to grind on the Spider Island and in the deep underground to hit combat level 12. I needed to hit this in order to go to the end, so I spent the whole day in these two locations. However, before I left, I did actually end up using some of the coins to buy a full set of magma armor to keep myself well protected, as I really didn't want to struggle that much when I was fighting in the end. It's about 500,000 coins, so, you know, I kind of did spend some of the coins, but it was magma armor, and I don't think that's that much of a big deal. I did like the power upgrade. The next part of this video, though, gets pretty crazy, so sit tight. On days 38 to 45, I went to the end. Now, maybe this is a large chunk of days, and there's a lot to unpack here, and I just linked all these together because I had 5 hours of recording, and I didn't really feel like splitting it all up. But I had lots of fun here in the end. In this zone, I can collect obsidian, endstone, kill endermen, and I believe even slay dragons. I was excited to get exploring and see what I can find. Let me tell you, I was not prepared. Not only did the endermen have 4,000 HP, some of them had 9,000 HP, but I barely did any damage to them, even with this fully enchanted weapon. I struggled to fight these mobs and died multiple times, but I was very motivated to at least get one enderman minion by the end of these days. I was prepared to grind here forever to get enough ender pearls to make an enderman minion. I wanted to have all the minions set up very soon, and it was only a matter of upgrading them and letting time pass. During my escapade, I ran into a few players who stole from someone. MadX2019 apparently stole an item worth 750,000 coins. I asked if he enjoyed being a thief in my video, and he said, "Yay, I'm a thief!" Then promptly said I probably have like 2 subs. Little does he know. Then I asked if anybody would like to say hi, and Heidisberg said hello. Technofetus, on the other hand, was not having any of my annoying antics in chat. J-Reboot respects my subscriber count, and Swen wants you to drop out of school. Then, on the edge of day 45, I discovered a door. A large, menacing-looking door that will certainly be my demise. With one breath of fresh air and a whole lot of regret, I stepped through. To my surprise, on day 46, the only thing in this room was death. I was given an objective, one to fight a literal dragon. I presumed I was going to die, and I was right. I went down here to explore, and was killed by everything. They were all really high level, and my small body was not prepared for this kind of treatment. Lots of high level players were here, and most of them were able to carry me, but I was not having any of it. After a while, I realized I was playing Hypixel Skyblock and not World of Warcraft, as the only real difference was the lack of toxicity in trade chat. Oh wait. I spent a while here attempting to make friends, but alas, my attempts were futile, and I was decimated by the end creatures. Perhaps another day, I will be able to fight them. Day 47, I spoke to Goober. He wanted me to run all the way to the other side of the island. Does it look like I exercised to you? So I did what any sane person would do and used my double jump to my advantage. Well, disadvantage, as I leapt all the way off the edge, forcing myself to restart the race. I attempted this again, and hopefully this time I won't fail. Remembering the fact I had a literal grappling hook, I was successful and beat the race in record time. Now you might be wondering, what quest did he have next? Well, I'll be damned. Beat the race in 2 minutes. Wait, didn't I just beat the race at 1 minute and 10 seconds? What more do you want from me? I already did this. I already beat it. What? Day 48, I discovered there was a pickaxe I could buy that was literally called Stonk. Normally, I wouldn't have nearly enough coins to buy this pickaxe, but because I had simps, I warped back to the bank, collected some of my coins, and bought an investment into Stonk. Now you might be thinking, Asher, why are you holding 500,000 coins and running to the end? What if you die? And to that I say, I like the rush of adrenaline. Then I mined Endstone for the rest of the day. Why? Because this is satisfying. Also, I wanted to unlock the portal to the end recipe, and I did. Now I can have my own personal portal here from my base. I created my first Enderman minion and plan to have most of the Ender Pearls on the server. I was going to be the Technoblade of Ender Pearls. No, I didn't actually get that far, guys. Anyways, moving on. Now, you might be wondering what I'm going to spend the lots of coins that I got on. Ender Pearls. I bought a ton of Ender Pearls. Literally filled my inventory like 4 times over. So many Ender Pearls. All I did on day 49 was buy Ender Pearls and upgrade my minions. Nothing else. On day 50 and 51, I upgraded my diamond minions with compactors, as well as upgraded my cobblestone minion. I wanted to get my cobblestone all the way to rank 10 in order to unlock the super compactor. This will take a lot of time, and I probably won't get this by the 100 days. I also placed down another diamond minion and spent more coins upgrading all my diamond minions, as well as upgrading my cobblestone minion. I wanted to have a ton of minions upgraded before I logged off for the real life day. Now, I don't know the best way to get coins, but I was told I can upgrade my spider boots by doing Slayer quests, so I'm definitely going to delve into those for the rest of the 100 days. I wanted to upgrade my double jump boots as they were the coolest thing ever, as well as finally be able to maybe craft my aspect of the end. I don't actually craft it, but I think I may get pretty close. On day 52, I became poor. Yes, I spent all the coins I was given on not armor or weapons, not tools or upgrades, but instead on getting 2 level 10 Enderman minions with Super Compactor 3000, 2 cobblestone minions, and 4 diamond minions, all compacting and fueled for overnight in real life. I ended the day in real life and in Minecraft by making sure everything was upgraded and set to make a ton of stuff overnight. I wanted to log in the next morning for the next day with a ton of enchanted ender pearls and blocks of diamond. I'm excited for the amount of stuff I'm gonna log into. Now, I'll remind you all, since I see this so often in the comments, I'm spending 100 Minecraft days inside of Hypixel Skyblock. So as I'm writing this script, I'm about to head to bed in real life as well, which means time will pass and my minions will generate a ton of supplies for me to wake up to. I can't believe I spent so many coins in Skyblock literally just to get some upgraded minions. I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, and I also bought a couple materials to be used to upgrade my spider boots, and as of now, all I need is the spider catalyst. I might perhaps get a new set to help with this upgrade, as the spider catalyst needed for the tarantula boots is a rare drop from a powerful slayer boss, and I'll probably have a hard time dealing with him. On day 53, I collected a ton of enchanted ender pearls when I woke up the next morning. I know I needed like 4 more levels of ender pearls before I was able to craft the aspect of the end, and I was hoping to be able to do this by the end of the 100 days. I decided to expand my base a bit, building more rooms for 2 more portals that I'm going to end up crafting, as well as more minion slots, as eventually I'll unlock those as I craft more stuff. On day 54, I headed over to the park to cut down a ton of jungle trees. I was informed by my Discord community that cutting down these trees and creating enchanted jungle wood is a really good way to making coins easily. I decided to go ahead and cut down a ton of trees using a jungle axe that I was given. I eventually unlocked the portal to transport to the jungle area, so I crafted that and placed it down in my base for easy access when off-camera grinding. Days 55 and 56, I spent the next 2 days cutting down more trees to get more enchanted wood to sell them for coins. I was given a really powerful axe to make this go by quicker, and I sold all the enchanted wood for coins, which I used to buy a new armor set. I was preparing to take on Slayer quests, and I wanted to be as strong as possible before I did this, so I headed to the auction house and spent literally all of my coins buying the Monster Slayer armor, which consisted of the creeper legs, guardian chestplate, and skeleton helmet. This gave me a really good buff, as well as making me immortal to 3 hits. I returned home and prepared to start Slayer quests for the next day. I also drank a mushroom soup that someone gave me, which allowed me to fly on my island for the next 4 hours, which was pretty cool. On day 57, I started the Slayer quests. The first one I needed to do, according to the wiki, was the Zombie Slayer quest, as in order to unlock the Spider quest, I needed to be at least tier 2 with the Zombie quest. So I headed to the hub to find the SCP to start the quest at. I defeated the first level of zombies very easily, and then ended up killing the boss in one shot. Looks like level 1 was very simple, so I moved on to level 2. I needed 1500 XP for this one, so I decided to move to the Obsidian Caverns to get XP quicker. The boss spawned on top of me with 3 other mobs and had a crazy amount of reach and knockback. So I lost the first fight because I was unable to hit the boss at all. Luckily, I planned on definitely winning the second fight and returned to start the Slayer quest again, because I wanted to unlock Spider Slayer quests and get Tarantula armor. On day 58, I returned to the Deep Caverns to complete the Zombie Slayer quest tier 2. I actually got a fair boss fight this time, but he was still crazy fast, had crazy knockback, and I could barely hit him. I ended up barely being able to defeat him and completing the quest. I actually really like the difficulty of this boss fight, and while the other Slayer quests are a bit grindy, I'm super happy with how they are designed, and I think it's a really fun thing to do in Skyblock. And the rewards are nice as well, but now it's time for me to start grinding Spider Slayer quests so I can get those Tarantula boots. Day 59, I started the Spider Slayer quest, completing level 1 with relative ease and unlocking the Spider Ring recipe. I actually have not gotten a single accessory this entire playthrough, so I think I wanted to grind for this one, as it will probably be very helpful in me unlocking the Tarantula boots. I also started the level 2 Spider Slayer quest, and farmed out the Broodmother boss at the top of the spider den, killing her to obtain the talisman. Day 60, I spent the entire day grinding spiders for the tier 2 spider quest before getting absolutely massacred by the boss. I just didn't do enough damage to actually kill him, so I was gonna grind the level 1 quests a bit more to get the upgraded spider sword to be able to take on the level 2 boss. I did a few more level 1 spider quests to end off the day. Day 61, I completed another Spider Slayer quest and unlocked the Recluse Fang recipe. Now I can do way more damage to mobs in the spider den once I craft this weapon. The recipe wasn't that expensive, and I wanted to get full enchants on the new weapon as well, so I made sure to do that. I'm only going to do Slayer quests for a bit longer, as it's pretty grindy and I want to keep the video interesting. Perhaps I'll build a room for alchemy and potions, as I really want to upgrade that skill as well. The coolest thing about this new sword though is that it actually upgrades and does more damage the more I fight with it. Day 62, I was looking through the enchantments and discovered the compact enchantment. I went to the community shop to buy this, but I didn't have any bits, so I discovered how to get them. I ate a booster cookie to start gaining bits and possibly buy something with them. I was looking to upgrade enchanting to get some good enchants on my sword. I ended up spending the rest of the day enchanting items in my base. I got enchanting to level 14 and added a few extra enchants to my Recluse Fang weapon. Day 63, I return to do Slayer quests once more. With my upgraded weapon, I should easily be able to massacre the level 2 boss. If I'm unable to, I'll probably take a step back and make some potions and accessories before continuing to do these quests. Luckily, I was able to destroy the boss. I actually ended up killing him and completing the quest 3 times. I wanted to unlock level 4 slaying, so I was gonna end up doing these quests a lot. For now though, I'm gonna start working on some alchemy, as I haven't done that at all in this video. Day 64, I decided to move my enchanting station and enderman farms to come up with a good potion making room. I wanted to brew haste potions and strength potions and a bunch of other things to start mining a bunch of cobblestone so I can max out my gathering and get 2 extra free minion slots. I created a pathway out of the storage room and expanded it further, as well as moving my enchantment table this way. I ended the day by talking to a few of my subscribers and being gifted a god potion that gave me every buff in the game? What? A lot of things happened on day 65. Firstly, I hit level 3 in the Spider Slayer quests. Then I realized in order to do a tier 3 and unlock the Tarantula boots recipe, I would need a lot more power than what I have. And I would need to go and do the level 2 Slayer quest about 32 more times to level up. Averaging about 2 each day, I would have to do Slayer quests for the next 16 days to unlock this. So instead of spending a fifth of the video on Slayer quests, I decided to go ahead and spend some of my hard-earned and totally not given to me by subscribers Skyblock coins on a set of Ender armor and, sadly, an aspect of the End sword. Now, I'll still be trying to craft my own aspect of the End sword, and probably using that along with enchanted diamond blocks to make some Skyblock coins for myself. However, for now, I feel that it was best for me to make this upgrade and fully enchant my new gear to be as strong as I can be. I wanted to see if I could take on a tier 3, and I definitely can't. I'm very weak. This was important as I wanted to grind out some higher combat levels and craft some dragon armor by the end of these 100 days. Now that I have all this armor though, the Enderman in the end should be very simple to kill. Day 66, before heading off to the end, I wanted to finish the expansion of my base and build a small area for brewing potions. I expanded this area just past the enchanting station into a large open room and added some pillars for a nice design. I was going to make each little square have chests for different types of potions. Strength, haste, absorption, regeneration, etc. But for now, I was going to grind my combat level a bit and come back and finish the whole base afterwards. For the next 3 days, I returned to the end to grind my combat level on Enderman and Zealots inside the Dragon's Nest. I was able to get a lot of Ender Pearl drops here, as well as a rare Enderman pet, which I heard was pretty good. Overall, I spent these next 2 hours grinding and got a bunch of coins, a ton of Ender Pearls, a decent amount of experience, and I got all the way to combat level 16, which means I can finally buy dragon armor. Day 71, I did the math and determined I was going to need about 5 million coins in order to buy a set of strong dragon armor. I spent the whole day crafting ender eyes, enchanted diamonds, and tons of other materials. I just gathered all these up in my inventory and sold it to the Bazaar. Surprisingly, I actually managed to gather and save around 2 million coins. And honestly, this was a really big achievement for me. However, I still wasn't able to get strong dragon armor. Perhaps my date with Destiny and having a great armor set was never meant to be. Maybe I'll be stuck in this ender armor forever. But then I remembered something. I have simps. So by the end of day 71, I was able to buy 240 strong dragon fragments. And you already know I went straight to the Bazaar and bought all the fragments I could and crafted a full set of this glorious armor. And even though half of it was bought by some wonderful humans, I was at least able to afford half the armor myself. And I gave back his extra 1.9 million coins. And now I'm literally so poor that it hurts. I have actually 0 coins, literally no wealth to my name. I don't care. I got myself some dragon armor. Let's go. Oh, that was crazy. Anyways, I ended off the day with my full set of armor. So, shout out to Athema for giving me some coins to buy this armor. Go subscribe to her, her link will be in the description below. On days 72 to 74, I needed some coins, because I had literally 0. I was so poor. So, I spent these days cutting down trees, mining lapis, and killing endermen in the end. I ended up grinding back up to a smooth 268,000 coins, which was definitely enough for me, at least for the day. Day 75, I wanted to have a complete and finished island base for you guys to come visit sometimes, so I decided to work on that for the day. I plotted out the potion room, planning out some other things such as farms that I wanted to have before day 100. I put in all the brewing stands, cauldrons, iron trapdoors, and other details in the potion room, decorating it completely. I want to host events on my Twitch page where I rate you guys' islands and let people visit my island. So be sure to follow me there, as well as join my Discord server if you want to be a part of these events. Day 76, I started to really crack down on the base to get a finished product, because I know there will be angry comments if I don't actually finish the space and leave it as open as it is. So I spent the whole day filling in all the walls with spruce planks to give it a nice castle-like feel. And on day 77, I filled the entire ceiling of the base with andesite. Literally, I did nothing else this day. This is all I did. On day 78, I broke all the torches around my base and placed glowstone everywhere to make sure everything was lit up and fancy with glowstone instead of torches. The base is really coming together now, and I was just about finished with the ideas that I had in mind so far. I wanted to expand the minion and portal room, as well as expand past the storage room to more farms, and perhaps another room past the potion making room. I know I needed to set up a netherwort farm in order to get some powerful potions. However, now that I had dragon armor, I did want to try out a tier 3 spider quest to see if I'm able to complete it. Day 79, I brewed a ton of potions and enchanted a spider helmet in order to take on a tier 3 spider slayer quest and unlock the tarantula boots recipe. However, even with a full set of dragon armor, wrath load of potions, I was not able to ever even dream of taking on a tier 3. Looks like the tarantula boots are going to just have to wait till after these 100 days, or I'll just save up coins to buy them, who knows. On days 80 to 82, I decided to set up farms to the base. So I made sure to buy a ton of building material and began to lay down a huge sheet of dirt once again. This was a mistake, as the area I placed down was 2 full inventories of dirt, and it took me well over an hour to place all this down. I wanted to make sure I had farms set up, but I was not happy with how much time this was going to take. Day 83 and 84, the next 2 days, after all the dirt was placed, I spent tilling the soil and placing water source blocks all around, making sure everything was even and water sources were placed in the middle of every area. Day 85, I began to place torches down as well as chests to store all the different crops I wanted to grow. Then I began the long and grueling process of planting wheat, potatoes, and carrots.
I was going to work on some other farms as I wanted to have a fully built and set up island for these 100 days. And we were closing it out, and it feels much better to work on the island and finish it up. However, there was one big thing that I was missing and forgetting to do here on Skyblock. One major thing. Dungeons. Day 86 through 90, for the next 4 days, I worked really hard on completing and finishing the base to the extent that I wanted it to be. I expanded the minion area, allocating 6 new minion slots as well as 2 extra portal slots to teleport anywhere I wanted. I massively expanded the farms, adding in sugarcane, netherwort, pumpkins, and melons. Now I had pretty much any farmable resource that I needed or wanted, and was ready to spend the last 10 days grinding out some combat levels, coins, and doing some dungeons. I wanted to be strong enough to fight a tier 3 spider boss by the end, and I also had my eyes on the aspect of the dragons for 3 million coins. But honestly, I doubt I'll be able to obtain that, even if I waited 10 in real life days. Sadly, as this video comes to an end, I didn't get as far as I'd like, but I got a lot of stuff done through these 100 days, including dragon armor and an aspect at the end. However, for the final 10 days, I did also want to try out dungeons, and level my combat up to 18 in hopes of coming in clutch and buying that aspect of the dragons. Day 91, I checked my diamond chest after all these hours and days and years of saving up and collecting diamonds from all of my minions. Honestly, the fact I had 8 diamond minions working with compactors made me realize that I had been on Skyblock for a really long time. And despite releasing my videos when I did, I had actually put in much more work than 100 days, so if you're at this point in the video, please subscribe. I worked very hard on this video, and I had like over 100 hours of total footage. However, I became rich again, as I sold all the materials I had saved up and collected once again. And one enchanted block might not seem like a lot. My friend gave me a couple more, and oh my god, I have 1.7 million coins! Woo! I went to the auction to reap my rewards, buying me an aspect of the dragons. The combat level 18 legendary weapon. Now, to buy the armor set that goes with it, I'm going to need 35 million coins? What? Doing the math, I calculated that I'm going to end up needing to wait 1,000 days. Okay, my math might be off a bit, but I'm going to need 3 stacks of enchanted diamond blocks. And in all the time I've been on Skyblock, I've only gotten one. Only one. This was not a good way to make, I only made one, guys. This is not a good way to make money. So I'll figure it out and get the superior dragon armor sometime later. On day 92, I spent a large sum of my coins on the Bazaar to get experience potions and fully enchanted the aspect of dragons. I wanted to grind out a few more combat levels in order to use the weapon and finally end off the 100 days by attempting to complete dungeons. I was now poor again, and had to wait weeks for my money to accumulate back to me. Sad, but I'm just glad the days I waited for my diamond block were well worth the wait, as I was able to get aspect of the dragon's weapon. Now we go get my combat level up to level 18 and buy a god potion to help me do that. On days 93 to 95, I returned to the end to grind a bit more at my combat level, as well as explain a few things to you guys. I want to explain why I'm not going to be doing 200 days with any of these videos. I want to start a 1,000 day series that I do in one single Minecraft world, but I'm not sure which world I'll do it in. This is actually the announcement that I said to look out for at the beginning of the video. So I'll have all of you guys vote multiple times before I start this large series, and we'll see which world I actually take to 1,000 days. Now, I'm not taking Pixelmon to 1,000 days because I just got bored of that. I'm not taking Windcraft to 1,000 days because there is not enough content in Windcraft, guys. Please stop asking me to do 1,000 days of Windcraft. And I will not be doing 1,000 days in Skyblock because 90% of it will be grinding. However, there's also something else I want to talk about. I'm working on a Minecraft content creator SMP that will involve roleplay and tell out the story of my novels. There's actually a lot of information on this, so go ahead and subscribe to Tier Central. It's going to be linked in the description, also linked on my channel page. There will be custom 3D modeled artifact weapons and a ton of cool stuff in that SMP. Applications will be opening in March, but I'm just mentioning it now so you guys know. Back to Skyblock. Something a lot of you guys are going to mention in the comments, and I'll probably have this timestamped in the description. Why did I take coins from my subscribers? Honestly, the answer is very simple. I wanted to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. And grinding for weeks or even months on Skyblock without any videos, it would just be too hard for me. As well, it would break the consistency I have on my channel. So I decided to take some coins to be able to upgrade stuff and keep everything fairly simplistic to understand and to cut out the grinding. So instead of, say, spending 18 hours in the end grinding out the ender armor, I could just buy it with some coins and get back to making the video. I already have over 100 hours of footage and playtime for this video, but I at least owed you that explanation.
Day 96 and 97, to end off these 100 days, I decided to warp to an event on an ice island where I ran into a bunch of different NPCs. I was given a snowball cannon, picked up a ton of random items on the floor, collected and gifted presents to fellow players, as well as watched other players fish and slaughter mobs that came out of the fishing hole. Day 98, I headed to the catacombs to discover what dungeons were, and it turns out I needed a full party and to pick the dungeons class. I selected a Berserker because there was no dual-wielding class, and decided to go live on Twitch, please follow my Twitch, to find people to do dungeons with. I thought I was strong enough to at least do entrance, but when I went live, everyone was saying that I was way too weak. Luckily, we got this really strong guy who just carried us through the entire thing. Day 99, I completed the floor 1 dungeon, and this one was way harder. So I had a full team of people who just literally carried me so hard in this dungeon because I did not stand a chance against anything. I didn't deal any damage to the boss, and I got no rewards, but it was still pretty interesting and fun. Day 100. On day 100, I spent the final day taking handouts. I was finally done with the challenge, and everyone was just begging to give me stuff, so I just sat on Twitch, talked to chat, and let everyone trade me whatever they wanted to. I answered questions, and played with everyone live on Twitch. I ended up amassing 37 million coins from multiple subscribers. My day was complete, and before this, I was only given about 2 million coins total, and made about 5 million coins myself via diamonds and ender pearls and hours of grinding. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I cut out a lot from this. My footage ended up being just barely over 100 hours, which means technically I spent 300 days inside Hypixel Skyblock, but that isn't the point. This video was very fun to make, but very time consuming, so I will not be doing 200 days at all. And while I'm aware that many people are going to be upset with the fact that I did allow my subscribers to give me stuff, I still think the playthrough was fun and genuine, and I didn't get that very far into the game mode as well. But I'm going to reiterate this again, I will not be doing 200 days. As, like I said before, I want to start a 1,000 day video series on one Minecraft world and build so much, obtain everything I possibly can, and create an amazing experience for everyone involved. However, for now, that brings us to the end of this video. If you got this far, thank you. It honestly means the most to me. If you enjoyed at all, please subscribe. I really want to get YouTube rank on Hypixel because I have so many funny moments that I can make into videos with that. And hey, if you don't like the content, later you can always unsubscribe. Thank you all so much for watching again. And subscribe to Athema, by the way. She helped me out a lot with Skyblock. One of her videos will be linked on the screen somewhere. And as always, keep your pants on.